This platform discusses any and all information that has been made known to the public in any way. Well, in this instance, it was made known to the public through this here Lifetime movie. But anyway, if the information creates combo that needs to be had, then it could become a feature story on the LRL platform. And that's what's happening. I am not a journalist. I am a commentator. The information is alleged, but my commentary is real. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Larry Reid Live. We have something that we need to address. Right now, what I need for you to do is to click like on to share on all of your social media occasions. Whether you're watching me on YouTube, Periscope, or Facebook, I need for you to share right during now and hit like. All right. Well, let me also say this. Follow Larry Live on IG, on Twitter, and every darn where. Text Larry Reid Live, no spaces, to 33222 so you can get a text before I post any darn thing or go live. And you should become a part of Patreon. Exclusive behind the scenes and even lives over there that never make this platform here. And then at any time during the show, if you love the show, I don't care if it's $2, you hit that CashApp. You make sure you hit that CashApp or Venmo or Google, what's that? Google Wallet, LarryReidLive at gmail.com is that. Or you can go to LarryReidLive and click donate. All right. I've been wanting to talk about this for 2 or 3 days. So I'm going to talk about it right now. I ain't running no commercials. I'm just going to talk about this. So you're going to be able to come back to this video and just watch it from top to the bottom. I'm getting straight into this. This is connected to the Lifetime movie, the Clark Sisters movie. It's called The First Ladies of Gospel. All right. Now, let me tell you this here. Since this movie aired, I did a review. Of course, I ran the part 4 of the interview I did with Denise. If you happen to see that, even the contact information I gave out for her, that's expired. Look in the description so you can see how to contact her. I also done a review. You guys have watched that. It sparked some conversations. And there have been plenty of interviews that have been had by Kiara Sheard, who in the movie, she played her mom, Karen Clark Sheard. Also, Jackie Clark Chisholm. Hold on. Jackie Cullum Clark Chisholm. Got to put all of them in there because Clark is a stage name. But that's a really good picture of Jackie. That is a great picture of Jackie. They should have made her look like that years ago. She looked nothing like she looked years ago. Yeah. You said what now?
Jackie had some surgery.
I don't know if Jackie had no surgery now. She could have though, but she looked totally different in the past. She looked. This is a wonderful picture of her. All right. Anyway, and also Karen Clark Sheard. She's been doing interviews as well. You know, that's a beautiful picture of Karen. It looks pixelated on this end, but it may not be pixelated on the what's name. All right. But anyway, so I listened to all of these interviews. I even listened to Larry Clark. Now, for those of you that do not know, Larry Clark is Denise. That's who everybody been calling the 5th Clark sister, or the Clark sister they didn't know anything about. But she's actually the firstborn to Albert and Mattie Moss Clark that birthed the other Clark sisters that we all know, excluding Jackie. That's Dorinda, Twinkie, and Karen's mom and dad, blood mom, but they all share the same mom, including Jackie and their eldest brother Leo. So the thing that has gotten really interesting is me listening to all of these people take on the movie. I listened to what Larry said. He went line by line almost to debunk the lies or to fact check the movie. But the thing about that is he needs to be fact checked because he's only going by what he remember as a child or even, excuse me, what he was told. Kiara Sheard done the exact same thing. They were asked about certain parts of the movie, key parts of the movie. That's a fine BBW. There's something about that during Kiara. I don't know what it is. She first lady ready. She stand beside a man of power ready. Now that Karen Clark Sheard fix her for that. Because Karen is a first lady perfection. It's whatever you say, baby. All right. Oh, God bless you. She talks real soft and so easy. And she smile. Perfect. They done train that girl up to be somebody first lady. She ready already. I want to see a version. Why did my mind go there? I wonder, is Kiara a virgin? Now, she used to go with Welton Smith, which, he was on the platform. We know he ain't want no virgin because he left her and went right to baby making. But anyway, I ain't going that would start a whole nother show. Get her off the screen. All right, so let's get back to the card system move. I'm about to go to a whole nother train of thought.
Yes, you were.
What in the world? This mind of mine. I was ready to ask her 59 questions and get off. Want to stay on the topic. All right. So one of the things that kept coming up in the story. First of all, number one, I done told y'all in my review of this movie. This movie was a classic view of abuse. We have an abused woman, Mattie Moss Clark, who was clearly abused by her first husband and her second husband, and also the church that she dedicated her life to. And this abused woman did the best she could. She had a dream, she had a vision, wanted to do what she wanted to do, want to touch people's lives and help people, everybody be saved and live what's right. And she done that the way it was done to her. It clearly was beat into her. It was along with this whole live right thing with this mean-spirited way of being hard. And she was the same way to her daughter. So the abuse she suffered, she abused others. And from what I'm told, a few other people that was even in the choir that came around the family and things, that they married her to the family. She was just a hard woman. And this is not abnormal for Pentecostal Holy Ghost church mothers to be abusive. I wonder, do we learn that from the people that whipped us to pick the cotton? Is that something that was passed down? I don't know, but that whole in the Black American culture, the mom or the parents to be hard. I think we think it's a part of being saved and holiness and loving God, but to me, I can see how in some cases, in many cases, it's just abuse. It's just passed along abuse. And how for many people, it may bring the best out of them. I mean, because it made us pick cotton till we were blue in the face, black and blue in the face. But it made the Clark sister sing really good. That's how we got Twinkie. And then the other side of Twinkie's voice, which is Karen, we got all these wonderful things from it, but it don't excuse it. And it doesn't mean that these ladies were not abused or the subject of abuse, like the Jackson 5. They were. And I think Twinkie probably received more abuse than anyone. That's what I believe. And she worked harder than anyone and really missed a whole lot of years that she could have shared with several men, but she chose to share it with just one man, and his name is Johnny Terrell. Now, this is the real Johnny Terrell, who is clearly an elder, possibly a bishop designate, if I'm looking at what he got on. She fell in love with him, and she ran away with him. But let me make some things clear. Number one, let me tell you this. I'm going by my spiritualizations, which I already put in the first review, and now I have had a conversation with him. I spoke with him before Monday's show, but I had a more in-depth conversation with him after I saw Kiara's interview, Jackie's interview, and listened to Karen talk, and also I eavesdropped on their prayer line So I heard them pray for Denise. I'm going to tell y'all about all that. Okay, anyway. So, ran away with him. So, first, I want to say this about the movie. It's a great movie. Watch the movie. I know one of the producers on it. I think the acting was great. It's a wonderful biopic, which is a dramatization. I want y'all to just get that in your head. This is a dramatization. This is what the writer Camille Tucker and was it Christine Watson? I can't think of her name. The director, along with these producers and executive producers, Dr. Holly Clark, and also Karen Clark and her husband, and that were all a part. Oh yeah, also Queen Latifah. They just backed it and connected their brands to what was going on. Dr. Holly Carter there, and we've interviewed her here, so make sure you go back and watch that interview. So I understand. It was great. It was superb. It was great, inspirational, insightful. I got all of that out of it. But I think for the Clark sisters, this may be the nail in the coffin. And when I say the nail in the coffin, when I watched the movie before it went on and on and on, I was like, oh my God, maybe, because in real life, y'all saw part 4 of all 4 parts of the interview with Denise. Y'all got a whole sibling that y'all got some problems with. And I've heard the rumors from the side of the Clark sisters. She has mental illness. She disappears. She acts funny. She pops off. I've heard that. This is alleged from the Clark sister side, at least from the other family members who have said things like that concerning Denise. Oh, she was loose, like they portrayed her in the movie. They portrayed her as a hoe, and I stand by what I said. It may not sound nice. If Denise a hoe, you're gonna have to make Mattie a hoe. You're gonna have to. Cause Mattie had children by more than one man. Amen. I don't care if it was from another marriage. At least what we think. Still. And you can also have to say, okay, let's say you're not gonna say she a hoe. Well, you're gonna have to call an adulterer because she was married twice. You know what the biblication says? Same biblication to say something about fornication you want to put on Denise. The same biblication say about being married twice. So you don't like it, tear it out. Say, by God, I live by the rest. You don't like it, tear it out. But anyway, so nail in the coffin as relates to the relationship. I hope it's not. As relates to the relationship that the Clark sisters hope to have with Denise one day, or the relationship they hope to have even with John. That you just put, and Twinkie, you put a whole lot of relationships on the line, because in the movie, John, Terrell, Twinkie, Clark, and Denise were the characters that were sort of cast in a negative light. We didn't see anything negative concerning Jackie, concerning Karen, or concerning Dorinda. And the two things that we could pull negative out of Karen having some elective surgery that we were allegedly is weight loss surgery, or Dorinda contemplating suicide, which, according to the biblication and what fundamental Christians believe, you got a demon, a spirit of suicide, and you on your way to hell. Those, and some of the encore playbacks of the movie, y'all took both of them out. So it's like there's some strong effort, it seems and appears to be some strong effort to keep Jackie, Dorinda, and Karen nose really clean. Could it be because they are in senior positions in the Church of God in Christ? And Karen's husband, everybody believed that he's going to be the next presiding prelate. Somebody told me something about Charles Blake today, but I can't say it live because it's not confirmed. But I hope he's doing well. I'm just going to say that. Okay. So, it could be the nail in the coffin when it comes to this relationship, because this was not good. And allegedly, as it relates to Denise and the Clark sisters, Denise has not watched the movie. From what I hear, there's some vow to not watch it. And I think that would be good. But then again, I'm pretty sure folk them came back and told her how she was depicted in it. And it's best if you see it yourself as opposed to going by what somebody say. But last I heard, which was a little bit over 48 hours ago, she had not watched it. Okay. So, what I can pull from Denise's interview is this, that Denise was not the only Clark sister enjoying sextivities. And possibly, allegedly, was not the only one that had babies. But she just kept hers. Now, that's what she said. That's what she said. All right. Let's get back to Twinkie. Twinkie and Johnny Terrell. It was said in an interview, in the fact checking of Larry Clark, and say I pay a darn attention. In the fact checking of Larry Clark, he said that this man, Johnny Terrell, whipped upon Mattie Moss Clark. Now that's what he said. He said that did happen and that is true. Because so many people were going to be, ooh, we're going to get him. Oh, not only that, but Bishop Brandon Porter went online. Let me see if I got that. I forgot all about that. Lord have mercy. That's one of the board members of Church of God in Christ. I think that's Brandon Porter. Let me look. Hold on.
The job. Does he have a job? I know that's right. When that Negro pushed Mattie down, but the word was he slapped Mattie. You know, that was the word. When he pushed Mattie down, we all wanted to whoop him from across the country. When we got word that that boy had put his hands on Mattie, we were all about to take him out. I'm telling you, that's what it was around the country. He had to disappear for a little while. We were all about to take him out. What else did you like? Yeah, he pushed Mattie. But the word on the street back then was that he had slapped Mattie, so I don't know, but the movie shows that he pushed her, and I would rather believe that, because Mattie wasn't no pushover. I know at that time she was challenging her legs. If she had that full strength, Mattie would have been boxing herself. I'm trying to tell you something. That Mattie Clark wasn't no pushover.
Okay, so you see, you have one of the main bishops on the top level now, who is repeating a dramatized movie as a fact. You have Larry Clark, who won't even dare saying that it was a fact. You had my favorite BBW, Kiara Sheard, saying that it was a fact and that he apologized and the family forgave him. And he apologized to Mattie Clark before she died. That's what she said. Mind you, she was 0.2 years old. Jackie Clark said that the movie was not telling the truth because it was so much worse than that, and had they put in the movie, this is what she said now, so that let me know that she had the creative hand with that writer. Because I think this whole movie was told from her perspective. That had they put what really happened in the movie, that somebody would burn Johnny Terrell's house down or be looking for him. That's what she said. So you got all of these people out here who's saying this dramatized movie is the truth. And then you have one of the Clark sisters, Jackie, saying that it is the truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, I had to contact them a second time. And this is what he said on to me. He said this on to me. He said, because I made a post saying, all the person I'm going to believe, I'm going to believe what he's saying. But I really need for Twinkie to come and tell us what happened because, we all been subject to this dramatization because Twinkie was there. He said there was only one blow up that was very heated and screaming and that type of thing. That only happened one time between him and Mattie Moss Clark. These are the people that was present. Mattie Moss, Johnny Terrell, and Albert was in the house. Are you hearing me? Twinkie wasn't even there. Y'all might not like some of the stuff I'm gonna say tonight. I don't even know. I don't know how this is gonna go. Lord, let me just get my notes because some of this is gonna leak up out my head as I'm sitting here talking about it. Lord, let me get my notes. Let me get my notes, Jesus. Let me just finish the story, and then I say what I'm gonna say that I know probably gonna make some of y'all upset. The people that was present was Mattie and Johnny Terrell and Albert, her husband. The only people that was there during all. Did you hear what I said? I want y'all to be clear on this. There were 3 people that was there. Twinkie was not there at all. I want y'all to be clear on this now. You got this? And he said this to me, that he did not understand why the Clark sisters, the family, would do him like this. He remembers whatever something being told, the fuss or something happened between them. And with him and his mom, and he knew that the mom did not like him. And I was like, well, why did Mattie not like you? I said, was it because you took her away from the family? He said, no, because Twinkie wanted, I already knew Twinkie, the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s. And Twinkie didn't want to sing with her sisters anymore and didn't want to be with her mom anymore. She wanted to live her own life. He said, that's very true. He said, and so I was asking around because I knew some people because she was in No Kind of Little Piece. And another source said that Twinkie, and this is alleged, that Twinkie actually moved one time away. And then she came back to Detroit. This is all before Terrell, Johnny. And he said, I only knew the Clark sisters from like a fan standpoint, like on the outside. I didn't know them. I just had a relationship with Twinkie. And I didn't know that they had all this drama going on, even with Denise and with, other situations in the family. He said, I didn't know anything about that. And Twinkie kept that from me. But stuff began to leak out and began to happen to where I began to see what was happening. He said, and I was hurt because I was in love with my wife and also with her mom, the legacy and everything. He said, so that was difficult for me to see. I said, so what happened when you got married? He said, when I married Twinkie, we moved to New York. I said, oh, the movie said that when y'all got married, y'all moved to North Carolina. He said, no, that ain't what happened. When we got married, we moved to the New Yorks. I said, okay. He said, and then Twinkie wanted to be separated from the group. He said, but I sort of encouraged her, to continue to work with the sisters. And I encouraged her in her career and for her to do her own thing. Now, he's musicality as well. So what began to happen as time went along, and Twinkie was making the dates with her sisters sometimes, sometimes she was not. But they began to be their own force. I said, what you mean, nah? We began to do workshops. Twinkie began to do her own workshops, separate from everybody. And that was with me, and I would be preaching, and she would be playing, and it would turn like revivals and workshops, and we were doing our own thing. So then at that point, I think that Mattie really began to crack down on Twinkie, and that's when me and Mattie began to bump heads, and that never got reconciled, really. He said, so I was at the same time trying to appease the family, so I was willing to move back from New York to Detroit. And when I moved back to Detroit, one of the times, he said, we weren't getting our own mail. So I went there to the house. And this is where the story comes from. And I'm going to call it a story. At this point, either Johnny Terrell is lying, Albert, I don't know what he said, he's already gone. Well, I don't know what he said prior to him down. So Johnny, Mattie, or Albert are liars. Twinkie ain't in this. Because what we saw in the movie, according to Johnny, ain't what happened. So either he lying about the movie, or the movie telling the truth. And 0.5-year-old Kiara telling the truth, Jackie who wasn't there telling the truth, or Larry who wasn't there is telling the truth. So you see how my brain working all this. So I'm only thing I can go. Mattie go, Only person that I can go on is. Excuse me, I made my took my own step. I'm so sorry. The only person I can go on is Johnny Terrell. And he said, no, what happened was when I went there to pick up the mail, Mattie had opened up all our mail. And I was like, I'm the man in the house. What? Why does this keep happening? I said, well, how come Twinkie ain't goes? Well, I'm thinking in my mind, I should have asked him that. I didn't ask. But understanding the dynamic, she probably didn't really want to. Twinkie wanted her own. He said that part of the movie is the truth. Twinkie was like tired. And we heard from Dorinda in an interview 2 days ago. She said that Twinkie was tired and did not want to sing with the group anymore. That she really, Jay Drew was the only one that able to get her in the studio to record this last album. I heard Dorinda say her mouth on her show on the Plantation Network, aka the Word Network. She said then that Larry was the only one to be able to get Twinkie to sing because Twinkie be stubborn and not want to go and do stuff. What it said. Twinkie been tired. She been tired of them. I think the picture is perfect. I know she loved her sisters. Just like I know Denise loved her sisters. But she was just tired. Remember, it was Twinkie and Denise that actually left the group. Anyway, so Larry, Johnny go over there to the house. And that's when he asked and questioned Mattie, he said Mattie went off. Said she went, his word was ballistic. He said, I'm a man. So there was an exchange there. So I don't know what Mattie went back and said. He said Albert was there. You know what Albert went back and said? But my conscious mind is like, hold on for a minute. A man that beat a woman, Albert, he already pop office, according to the movie. Gonna let another man, a younger man, come in there and hit his wife and he not whip his tail. No, I don't believe that. No. I think this story, whatever happened, as it got passed along, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. How many times we done sing that? Y'all to play that game, you got about 10 folk, you whisper something, by the time you get to the last person, it's a whole nother thing. It almost happened every time. Parts left out, something rearranged. It did not happen. You got a whole bishop on live. You know what? That's why I tell you this movie is probably the nail in the coffin with a whole lot of relationships, because this is a full mess. They just didn't think. I don't know how much money they got paid and what and whatever, but I don't know if this was worth it, because this is gonna be. I don't know, this might not be repairable before folk go fly away here with Jesus and wake up dead. Because you got all these folk believing what a movie said, and it did not happen. According to Johnny Terrell. Now, he could be lying. But I don't see him coming in it just seems too movie-like. Him walking up in somebody's house and whipping the mama and her husband there. Just don't make sense. In the black community, it don't make no sense. That's not how that works. Do you know what would have happened? They would have been boy, everybody wanted to get him back then. Y'all didn't go get him because they want the truth. Y'all just, is there something y'all talked about? Elbert ain't do nothing. And if he was bad as what y'all making him look like in the movie, the story should have been that Elbert and Johnny beat Mattie up. Because he would have jumped in there and wanted to get a piece anyway. If he was that man, like the movie saying. It wasn't true. It was not true that they left and went to North Carolina, then left and went to New York, moved back for the family, then left there and went to North Carolina 4 years later. Now, what he does not know, he didn't say this is what I'm saying. What he don't know is what happened between Mattie and Twinkie that was told either to Jackie or to the writers, and what Twinkie experienced because she wanted to pull away from her mom. I told you guys it was a cycle of abuse. In the movie, I think that language could have came from great writing, but it probably came from Twinkie not knowing the difference between pleasing God and pleasing her mom. Her feeling like her mom wanted a musician more than she did her daughter when Twinkie said, I needed a mom. So all of this is very interesting, and I don't believe that man beat that woman. I don't believe that. I don't think he pushed her. I don't think he slapped her. I can see him like, get off me if you run off the mouth, and you're coming in my face. But I don't believe that. I don't bit more believe it. In the movie, what did he do to Mattie? Push her? Mush her? Pushed her.
And she fell on the stairs.
Okay. But Jackie said in her interview, it was worse than that, and if we knew, then we would be trying to kill him, or not kill him, but burn his house down or get him or something like that. She said.
It's alleged. She said that.
Allegedly, she said that. Yeah. Oh no, I heard it. I mean, let's still say allegedly. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the question is, this here. I didn't know my volume was that loud. The question is this here. Did Twinkie Clark's husband, Johnny Terrell, really do that to Mattie Moss Clark? There's a song a man sung online. Hell no, to the no, no, no. That's what I don't believe it happened. I don't believe it. I believe there was an altercation. I don't think it got physical at all. Y'all let this man be. We only can go by Larry Clark, who I know lies. Praise God. Kiara Sheard, who was 0.5 years old. She don't know. She's going by what somebody told her. Talking about he apologized for that. That's a whole lot going on. Or Jackie, who let folk call her a registered nurse when she really a licensed practical nurse. Practitioner, excuse me. A licensed practical nurse. Oh, that's right. You hush?
It's practitioner nurse.
It's not. Licensed practitioner nurse.
Look it up.
You look it up. Let me look. But you were right about the other thing from the other day. You're probably wrong about this one. Oh, look. Licensed practical nurse. Sat down. Now, I don't know Kiara to be no lie. I ain't seen no lie that she ever told. But clearly being that she was an embryo at that age, that she don't know what she's talking about. She only going by what somebody told her. My BBW. Now, don't say that no more. You don't know what you're talking about. You can just say, well, my mom and them said. Oh, let me say that because this touches my heart. Put Karen up, and I gotta say something about Denise, Karen, and Denise and Kiara. I said, and this is on the impulse. when I interviewed Denise, I said I did not think that Karen was really connected to whatever this toxicity was, and that Karen really wants you in her life. I think I said it in part 2 or part 3. And I said, now I see her make posts about your birthday and things of that nature. She makes mention of you. I said she interrupts the conversation to make mention of you. I said I seen Kiara have the same kind of online display. And I said I believe Karen really aches for the coming together of her sisters. And that makes sense. She's the baby. I know in my family, that's my younger sister got that same spirit. When I pulled away from the family, she was the one that was calling different people. And I want my brother to come back around. He ain't coming back around because I had some problems going on between me. Me and my parents had just bumped heads at the time. I went and got baptized in Jesus' name, and we were raised Baptists, and then some other little stuff. Now I always had a bad attitude, all that kind of going on, but all that's fixed now. And so I called into the prayer line, and she was praying. But this is the thing, though. She was weeping. Oh, God. I still got audio. Oh, God. Denise, Sister Denise. Lord. She was praying, so, Lord, Denise, let her know that we love her. Let her feel our love. I said, oh, that's so nice. And Dorena's on the line too. Yes, Lord. I thought that was so nice. But then she rebuked the devil, the lying tongue in the midst of that. I hope you got to fix all that out. I don't know how y'all gonna fix that. And then, so that was that. And I remember talking to Denise about Karen. She said, you may be right. She said, because she basically was like, and I'm paraphrasing, this is not her words. Reid, you may be right. I see what you're saying concerning Karen. And then she talked about and laughed about and lit up about, on camera and off camera, about Kiara. It's as if she got something in her heart special for Kiara. Kiara said this, that one time for her mom's, and so that's showing me a dynamic. I just found this out. One time for her mom's, one of her birthdays, 50th or 60th, I don't know. One of the surprises was having Denise coming, and they had been talking. I said, I didn't know that before when she said it the other day, but I did recognize how Denise had so much passion toward all her sisters, but particularly as relates to Kiara and Karen. And they were talking and dealing, but I remember Denise saying that Karen told Kiara how she got big, pretty legs like Denise, and she looks like Denise, and all this kind of stuff. And what ended up happening was, at the last minute, according to Kiara, communication was breached with Denise, and she disappeared. I'm gonna tell you what I think happened, because I've had my own relationship with Denise, who is a wonderful person, a woman of God. In fact, Karen, your older sister Denise can teach you how to pray a whole nother level. I'm not saying you ain't got no prayer life, but I have prayed with your sister, and that girl pray. Apostle, Dr. Denise Clark Bradford. But anyway, when you're talking about 40-something years of pain, I think this is what happened with Denise as it relates to your event, Karen and Kiara. I think it was just the same experience with her doing 4 interviews here. And then the next things that we were about to do. It's just like, wait a minute. I've been hurt before. This is new. You emotionally, you just don't know. When somebody has experienced, been black sheep and all this stuff, getting pregnant by a bishop, and the bishop never take care of the child, all different this, then her grandbaby get murdered, I think it was, y'all didn't show up, and then they buried the daddy without her getting there in time, and she was a daddy's girl, and then the whole thing that happened outside of the mama's funeral, and then Larry sort of wanted to be, in his brother words, the fifth Clark sister in her space, you know, and choosing to help Twinkie and not her. I think all of that stuff, it just possibly came up. She said, I don't want to do that. It's too early. But this is what I pray. I pray that it's all worked out somehow or another. Even as it relates, every relationship, hope it all works out. And because of hearing what Kiara said, knowing what I know all from Denise, Kiara said, she made a statement, she said, and my mom and my Denise's sister still hiding stuff for her. Kiara, let me just let you know, I talked to Denise on air and off air. Whatever you think that they hiding or not telling for Denise doing the same thing and not putting it out there in the public. And I know people think she did, but no, she didn't. You don't know the story, baby. Just love everybody and live your life and go get your husband. Call me when you're ready. So the reality is, because I heard what Kiara's heart and I heard Karen, I know. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to her and Denise, because even when they mention Denise's name, Jackie face tightens up. I mean, Dorinda, she'll say, hey, she'll mention her, and Jackie will mention her, but I seen about 2 or 3 interviews when Karen mentioned Denise's name, it's like, Jackie's like, what next? But I'm hoping all relationships get proper. So when and if I have to discuss this again, I'm going to discuss it from my platform with that goal in mind. And I hope all of the vloggers, commentators, and people in the comment section do the same thing. Because we don't want to add to it, but we know anything we say will. You know, Denise told us that. She said a lot of times it's the fans that causes problems between the sisters. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. I'm gonna be aware of that when I commentate and talk about this, but at the same time, I still have to do my job. Johnny Terrell, I hope that in spite of how they have, or whoever have, just taken this story without any receipts, without any confirmation, and just pass this around. I really hate that for you. I hate it for, you know, how Denise is depicted. Twinkie was depicted in the movie like she's slow and can't make decisions. And then Jackie had to come in and... No, because Jackie took over Mattie Moss' estate when she started fading. And then Jackie took over. Remember, because I showed y'all the withdrawals, $300,000 one time, $100,000 one time. You know, then she was taking over Twinkie estate. But according to Denise, she didn't want Jackie to take it over. So that's why we're in courts and stuff, from what I understand. Oh, that's just horrible. There's so many layers to this story. But anyway, we love the Clark sisters. We're streaming and downloading your music and everything that the Clark sisters represent. And Twinkie, you will forever be the Clark sister. We absolutely love you. It would be great to see you guys just heal all of this up in front of all of us, so that other families can follow your lead. Because you know how this is a typical classic black Christian family with a saved mama and a possibly unsaved husband. This ain't new, but it is intriguing and a great conversation because it's the Clark sisters. And there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people did not know that now is on the front street. I'm done. I'll talk to you later. Love every last one of y'all. Make sure if you enjoy this platform, you hit that Cash App right now. Or either you sign up for Patreon. Sign up for Patreon. You can also go to LarryReidLive.com and click donate. Or you can mail in whatever donation you want to mail in. All right. I'm tired. Next time, the lines will be open. Take care till then. Goodbye. Hallelujah.